How are you doing? I'd like to introduce you to Nikki Foster. She's running for House District 54 in Ohio, and she's actually Major Nikki Foster. Would you like to tell a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm Nikki Foster. I'm running for Ohio State Representative in the 54th District, which is in the northern suburbs of Cincinnati. I'm a combat veteran, so I flew over 200 combat missions over Iraq and Afghanistan. So half of my combat missions are in the aircraft you see right here, which is the KC-10 air refueler, and the other half of my combat missions are in the MC-12 flying intel, surveillance, reconnaissance missions over Afghanistan. I have an 8-year-old son, his name is Wyatt, and he's in the 3rd grade, and I have a husband, Rob Foster, who is actually a union veteran himself. He's an airline pilot for United Airlines with the Airline Pilots Association.
I truly believe that service doesn't end when you leave and you get rid of your uniform. So what are some of your ideas to continue your service and really live by the ethos that we never leave fallen comrades, or we never leave our comrades behind? What are you going to do for America, and especially the district that you're running for?
That's right. Our campaign is all about servant leadership and integrity. And what I mean by that is giving back to your community and doing it with honor. So firstly, it's important to me that we lift up working families. What I mean by that is productivity in this country has continued to increase, and wages are not keeping up with that. And I believe that I should be an advocate for working families and increased wages, and also be an advocate for medical and family leave benefits throughout all different working families throughout the state of Ohio. That's my first point. My second is lifting up our communities through public education, all the way from pre-K to vocational training. I believe everyone in the state of Ohio should have access to great public education, and also able to have a trade that they can do and raise a family, just like my father, who is an auto mechanic, on a livable wage, and having the right training to do that through our public schools. I'm also very interested in making sure that the opioid epidemic is addressed, because that's what veterans do, is we try to solve problems, and that would be collaborating with others throughout the state to try to help and lift up those that are dealing with the drug crisis, help them rehabilitate, and help their families to recover from such a crisis.
And that's a really serious issue for our veterans community right here in Ohio, especially in the Midwest and rural America, is that as our veterans are transitioning back home, we see an increased amount of opioid addiction coming back from this war. So I'm really glad that you'll be working on that.
It's important to me, yes. And lastly but not least is military and first responder support. So to me, military members, they sacrifice a lot by being away from their families for years, by putting themselves in harm's way, but so do first responders. Firefighters, policemen, EMTs, all those that are serving their community and put their community first. To me, being an advocate for those workers is part of continuing my service to the country.
We truly believe that when workers are attacked, you're attacking a large group of veterans, and people seem to overlook that when they pass legislation to help, the people at the very top. And they don't realize that our veterans come from working class families. They go back to working class areas, and all they want is a shot at the American dream they fought for. So I'm really glad you're taking the mantle up to continue to fight after service.
Absolutely, thank you. And I'm very proud of the fact that I continuously work to help veterans transition. I'm also a volunteer for a national organization, Hire Heroes USA, that helps veterans find work after they separate. And I actually am I help out with the General Electric's Veterans Network, and I help bring veterans into the company, and I've hired 4 in the last 2 years that I've been with the company, bringing them into a manufacturing company where they can put their trade work to their skills to work.
None better than making sure a veteran gets a good job, right?
That's right.
All right, well, as the Ohio State AFl-CIO candidate for the 54th Congressional District and a combat veteran, we'd really like to introduce you and have you join the team of the Union Veterans Council.
Yeah.
You're going to hear more from this young lady. She's going to change the world just along with a lot of other folks.
Thanks,
and we're just lucky to have her in the fight.